Welcome everybody to the first episode of Blackwood, City of Four Guilds. We find ourselves here on the first adventure, the very first day of the very first adventure, coming through at the town square in the city of Blackwood. I hope you can all see it up on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, there is a crowd gathered about, all in the square here in the middle of the castle. The sounds of the people in the city start to die out as the escort of guards take our itinerant heroes from the exterior of the castle and into the interior. There is a large gathering of would-be adventurers who would pledge themselves in service of the city of Blacklight, and they have traveled from far and wide, all to put their names on a piece of wood-embossed metal that says that that's exactly what they're here to do. And all of you have done so as well. So, with this huge gathering of would-be individuals embarking on their first quest, we see the faces of our characters out in the crowd. One by one, the large wheel in which all of the slats with the names on them are being placed. Finally, they finish placing all of them around, and a great as the huge wheel begins spinning around and around and around. After a good 20 seconds, there is a slow to the spin, and finally, they take the name off at the arrow which is pointed. The first name is, why don't you guys all roll a d20, and we'll see who goes first, who gets to introduce their character first. There's a little widget up in the top left corner, Natalie.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a dice, so you can just hover over
Yeah,
it.
I see it.
Okay. All right, you go first. Go ahead and introduce your character.
My character, just in general.
What you look like, what you are armored and equipped with, and something that you would like everyone to know. Yeah, you can also just type Roll20 if that's easier for you. And something you would like us to know that is unique, that would make your character stand out amongst their kind.
A wood elf and a paladin. I haven't been a paladin for very long. I just recently gained my powers from Nagarok, the god from the Isle of Fear. And that's what's kind of special about me, and I've definitely let it go to my head. I think I am the bee's knees and probably going to be the next ruler of the world because of this.
Okay. As you, is there anything else? Is that all? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I guess I didn't describe him. He's a tall elf, a little muscularly built for an elf, but still pretty lean. Long black hair and piercing blue eyes.
Okay, wonderful. So we see Baratheon make his way up onto the stand at the base of the castle, or I guess at the summit of the castle, right? And then this wheel is spun again. Jonathan, you go next, friend.
My character is Soren Trocaire. He looks somewhat elven, somewhat human, but unlike other surface-dwelling elves, he's got more of the drow coloration. So he's a little bit healthier looking than typical drow, and he's just kind of in merchant guild clothing, and that's about him.
Awesome. Okay. We see your. I'm sorry. How did you say his name again?
Soren.
Soren. Okay. We see Soren make his way up the stand as well, and then Cece. Thank you. Thank you for spelling that out for me. Soren Trokar. Okay. We see Soren make his way up the stairs and joining Baratheon, and Jonathan. I'm sorry, Jonathan. I was reading your name when I meant to say Cece. My bad. Faux pas.
Well, Sticks and Stones looks absolutely zoned the hell out. Having not been the center of attention for far too long, he has basically lost interest in everything and doesn't really hear himself called quite immediately. Sticks and Stones is a tabaxi bard. He dresses in a strange affect as if he is from a far-off land, wearing a joined vest and cowl, and some haggard shorts. Now that attention is on him, of course, he perks up immediately, trying to capture the attention of others' adventurers with hoots and wails, as he saunters his way up to meet Soren and Baratheon. Well, hello.
There.
We have called our names for a reason, and I don't remember it.
It's because we're the most special people here, right?
I should hope to presume. I look around for anyone who looks the slightest bit official to tell me why I'm here, because I have forgotten.
All right. Before that, I want to give Jonathan the floor if he wants to say anything to you guys as well.
Oh, of course.
I'm hoping my shop got recognized, but otherwise I have no idea why I'm up here.
All right. So, as I guess that would be the ideal point. All of you have been brought here for a very good reason, and that would, of course, be your own. The person that is saying this out to the crowd of people who unfortunately did not get picked this decade is a very tall and slender high elf. He has long, blondish white hair that flows down to the small of his back, and he wears this regal, like purplish blue suit that like comes up into this like collared frill at the top. He has all the demeanor of a noble's person, and upon his chest he bears a how would you call it? I'm blanking for the word. It's not a brooch because that's not really formal enough. It's like a seal of office. I guess that's the only word that I can come up with at the time. A seal of office bearing a black dragon and a sword sticking through it, signifying that he is how would you say just ruler of these lands. As he goes on to explain that every person that has found themselves in this courtyard this day has done so for a reason. It is also several people have trespassed against the city without even knowing so, but all is forgiven because in Blackwood they do not hold grudges. He goes on to say that in this bit of amnesty, these three individuals will take part in our decannual tradition. I think that's the word, right? For once every 10 years, of seeking and earning the approval of the four guilds of the Blackwood, and then completing the ritual of the lost hero, which would be plunging into his shrine and retrieving the moonstone chalice within for all to celebrate in our festival. If there would be any who would I forgot the word, not eject, if there would be any that would speak against this, now would be the time, basically.
I look a little bit shocked, and Part of me wants to object because I really don't remember signing up for this, but here I am. Oh, that's grand.
He says, wonderful. Then if there are no objections, may you seek the approval of the 4 guild masters of Blackwood. And he hands you a scroll. It is sealed with his oath of office on it. And very loud and pronounced bell tolls from the interior of the castle. Once the bell has finished, everybody that was gathered vamooses, and you guys are pretty much free to go.
Well, thank you, Mr. Governor.
Baron.
Whatever it is they call you here. May your frilly coral forego all presumptions of gravity.
He says, gravity is one of the few things my office does provide these days. And it's barren.
Baron. Baron. That's a big one, isn't it?
This is one of the 2 major cities under the jurisdiction, or 3 major cities under the jurisdiction of Our Lady, Empress Talia. There is few who stand before me and her. That would be, basically he is trying to flex on you and say, like, I've got it in with the lady that is in charge of, like, everything. Like, I just own this city, but, like, I'm friends with the lady that owns this kingdom.
You don't say. I don't suppose you could get me an in with the fair lady.
He turns to you and says, "Ah, a nobleman of that very same nation. Well, I suppose you will earn your own keep in time. What is it that I can do for you now, fine folk?" I'm sure you have questions.
Do you by any chance have a leaflet that reiterates everything you said? I believe I followed, but I am going to forget.
He gestures to the scroll that he hands you and says, "That contract stipulates everything that you are bound to. Should you fail to accomplish this task, you will be banished from the city of Blackwood forever."
My goodness, and I've already fallen in love with it so quickly. Oh. 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 All right, I've noticed.
A deadline, yes. You must accomplish
What is this deadline?
You must accomplish the first of these tasks within the next 3 days. After that,
Not a whole lot of time.
Once you have the approval of all 4 guildmasters, you must report to the Shrine of the Lost Hero, where the Shrine Watcher will explain to you your next part. I know that you committed no crime. No one here is suggesting that any of you fine folk did such. However, when you did enter this city, you proclaimed yourselves as adventurers. Adventuring is illegal in Blackwood. Unless, of course, you're signed on to the Gold District or the Itinerant of Blackwood, in which case this would entitle you to be, in which case this would permit you very lucrative contracts, which would in turn grant you a bit more freedom than you might have if you were signed on to one of the local guilds. And he kind of smiles at that.
My goodness, you need a contract to have fun. Well, this
I
we do
am
not.
one of the guilds. I didn't realize I was overstepping.
Oh, that's totally okay. You can totally be a part of the Merchants Guild if you want to. That's no problem.
Well, I guess we should take a look then at our first task.
All right.
To the business so quickly.
It's completely up to you guys. Where do you guys want to start making your plans? The guard here would probably insist that you leave the castle with the rest of the itinerant or would-be adventurers.
Well, they're kicking us out. Good show. Goodness, goodness, goodness. We must accomplish something in 3 days. I had earlier presumed to have drunk for 3 days. This is going to screw up those plans.
Do a little drinking and planning in the meantime.
Oh, when I drink, I cannot plan any. Well, I can, but you don't want to follow through with it.
I see.
We must go and ingratiate ourselves to one of these pointy towers off in the distance, don't we?
Are you asking me?
I'm just sort of asking to the ether, really. And he looks around. He is going to... Yes.
Okay, so Jonathan mentioned... Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm going to suggest that we go to the place that has the pointiest tower first, because that is what's catching my eye. And that appears to be in the university district, because there's a very, very pointy tower there. There's
Wonderful.
quite a few, in fact.
Wonderful. So to answer Jonathan's question earlier, I kind of remained silent because I figured you guys would organically get there, and you did. When you open the scroll to find out what it says you need to do, it says in no particular order you must acquire the approval of each guild master. In order to do so, they will have a specific task lined out for you that they will that is in accordance with the Festival of the Lost. Seek them out, and they will have you perform this ritualistic deed. They will then give you their approval, basically. And then again, it says, go to the Shrine of the Lost Hero once you're done with that, and talk to the Shrine Watcher. But yeah, so is there any other questions that you guys have before you go to the university district, or are we just going to go ahead and screen cut on over there?
That's my inclination.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Okay, wonderful. So, as you guys make your way down the streets from the southern pass down the Commons Quarter and into the neighborhood of the Old Wood, eventually you come to a pass and a large bridge which sprawls a beautiful, glistening blue lake. The lake seems to have no particular features that jut out of it, save for on the far end, one of the colleges sits in or atop the lake surface, and then a little bit farther off to the southwest sits the obelisk, which basically sits on a little patch of ground that it has been erected from the earth. As you make your way across the bridge, you can see a number of university students walking here and there, and then of course individuals who might be paying the guild itself for services. Where do you guys go? You make your way across the bridge.
Which one's the pointiest tower?
I mean, that's completely subjective. That's kind of why I asked, is one of them has 4 points, one of them has a really tall point, and then one of them has a really pronounced point.
Yeah, so what are we going for? Are we going for pronounced? Are we going for height? Or are we going for multiplicity?
Multiplicity, I would think.
Multiplicity. I want the most points.
Sure.
Yeah, what's the
When you
legendary, what's
have
the immaterial?
I think that'd be the College of Immaterium. It's got the most pointy features on it, which makes it the best tower.
It's also the closest to the bridge.
That is that.
All right. So as you make your way over to the College of the Immaterium, you can see that the large, slender form of it glistens with the sunlight. The doors seem to automatically open as you come through. These huge, metallic and embossed with like silver and different types of like mercurial metals running throughout it, without a noise, just open, and once you are through them, they close behind you. The opposite side of this, however, greets you with a much different feeling. I'm sorry, I'm looking for the... Here it is. Greets you with a much different ambiance altogether. The dark of the tall rooms is offset by the glow of blue and green fires that sit in brass braziers in corners of large and vacuumous rooms where it feels like the very heat is being pulled off of your skin with how large and aged this place seems. There is a front desk when you enter in, and there seems to be a very aged and decrepit old gnome who is trying desperately not to fall asleep while he writes at a lectern.
Goodness, this one soon became quite warehouse. Cold in here. Hey, you, mister. Are you alive?
The gnome's glasses were sliding off of his nose, and he... Oh, excuse me. Yes, how can I help you?
Welcome back to consciousness, my friends. Yes, we are the fated heroes wannabes. And he shows the dude the scroll. We are here to ingratiate yourselves to you wonderful learned men.
Ah, the itinerant heroes. Yes, of course. I was told to expect you today.
Well, expect you shall, for we are ready to be loved by you.
Oh, well, I'm happily married. I do appreciate the offer, though.
I would like to say I did not agree to that last part there.
It's a platonic love.
He says, maybe were I a much younger gnome, but in my age, looks are something that go on the back burner. You start to look for things more, how you say, tender in a person. You know, anyway, I should get the Archmagister for you. It'll be just a moment. He incants a spell. If anybody would like to attempt to identify what spell that is, if you are proficient in Arcana, you can do so.
Don't really mind.
So
What's that, Jonathan?
I couldn't figure out how to import my character sheet in, so I'm just doing a die roll.
No problem.
And I fumbled. I ain't got no clue.
Oof.
No, I don't have a clue. Probably not even paying attention.
So the gnome incants a spell, makes a couple of hand gestures, and then he says, in a clear voice, the itinerant heroes are here for you, Archmagister. He says, and then he cuts off the spell. He stops the hand gesture, and the magic is broken. The slight smell of ozone in the air quickly fades. He says, he will be with you in just a moment. And true to his word, in literally a couple of seconds later, a crackle pierces through the air, and the form of... I'm pulling up something real quick. I'm sorry, I said he. Headmistress Aria of Evelight, a female half-elf. She is about 23, 24 looking years old. She has a like ponytail, long, flowing down her back, and the robes that she wears are ornate. They are green, and in her hand she carries a staff, which is humming with the magic that she just used to transport herself here. She says, "Ah, welcome, Heroes Itinerant. I was told to expect you. Please, this way." And she gestures to follow her outside through the doors.
Okay.
I'm certainly content to return to the sun.
All right. As you make your way back out onto the sandy shores of the college, you can see that the staff she's holding is pointed out towards the obelisk that, again, is like just kind of like floating there in the middle of the lake. She says, "I have an issue that I need you to take care of. It is the same issue that many have done before you, and many will probably do after you. So it's really more of, do you know this one?" She pulls out a bag of holding, and from it, a small cage. Well, it's a size like, I guess it would technically be a size small cage, but in it you can see this filling up the entirety. This cage itself is not made of metal, it's instead made of wood. A crustacean-like creature chitters inside with insectoid-like antennae that greedily seek out from behind the wood bars, searching for something.
Chitter back at it.
What's that?
I chitter back at it.
It chitters back at you. She pulls out another. Excuse me. She reaches in again and pulls out a phial of about a fist-size substance of yellow liquid, and she sets that down on the ground a few feet away from the crustacean-like creature. And then finally she pulls out a metal band. It's like circular, kind of like a hoop, and about the size of your palm, but it goes all the way around in a perfect circle. She throws that over onto the side opposite the yellow phial and says, "I have one thing to lend to you to aid you in this journey." And then finally she pulls out a rod with a silver orb on the top of it. She hands this to whoever would take it.
I'm being handed something, I take it.
Okay. She says, "The magic word is," in Draconic she says the word for up, which sounds like hearing the sound, a disc of force erupts from beneath your feet and picks you up off the ground a couple of feet. When you take the rod from her, you find that you have control over this, and it is starting to pull you towards the lake. She says, "I would recommend getting off that for a moment."
I jump up.
The sand softens your fall, and the disc disappears. She says to you, all three, "You must cross the lake to the obelisk and deliver this band." She gestures to the metal band on the ground. "You must also sacrifice this creature," and she gestures to the crustacean, "over the specific place before you put the band on it. But before you put the creature on it to sacrifice it, you must clean it with that substance in the phial. Now, if you leave the phial alone with the crustacean, you would find that the crustacean will be devoured. If you leave the metal band with the crustacean, you would find that the metal band would be devoured. However, if you leave the metal band with the phial, you might find that nothing happens. The only way to get across is to use this rod. If you try to swim, you will find that the current will push you back until this task has been carried out. Now, there is a specific order with which you can carry this, because the rod can only carry you and one thing at a time. One person and one thing at a time. It is up to you to find out how to accomplish this. I wish you all the luck in the world. Is there any questions you have for me before I leave?
Yeah, what's the crustacean?
I believe the common term for them is rust monster.
Oh.
If we leave the file with the crustacean will get eaten.
Correct.
And if we leave the file... Wait, what's the other thing?
If you leave the rust monster with the file, the rust monster will get eaten by an ochre jelly. If you leave the metal band with the rust monster will eat the metal band.
So we have to do it in a specific order too, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you type that out? Because I'm not going to be able to remember all that.
I do know this riddle.
I don't, and that fits, because for all intents and purposes, Styx was probably not listening.
I put it in chat.
I think I have an idea for how to go about this.
What's your idea?
So we take over the file to the obelisk first, come back, get the rust monster, bring the rust monster to the obelisk, switch that out with the file, so we bring the file back with us here, swap that for the hoop, bring the hoop to the obelisk, and then we come back for the file, and then do the ritual at the obelisk with all three items.
If that's the thing we need to go in, then that sounds like it would work.
Okay, so what do you guys take first?
I vote the yellow liquid.
And who's taking the yellow liquid?
Styx has the
Here?
scepter, I believe.
I've got the scepter. You seem to have... You are a riddle type. I am far too serious for riddles. I'll let you handle this. I give you the rod.
Thank you. So I grab the file, hold up the rod, and say up in Draconic.
It levitates you upward onto a tensor's floating disk. And
then
sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, and then I just float on over to...
Yep, it goes on a predetermined track.
Cool.
There is the obelisk has enough room on it for you to place and store whatever you need to store over there. So you find the disc stops at the like just above the obelisk. The base of it for reference, not the top. Sorry, I should have specified the base of it.
So then I'll move the file to the base, and then point the rod back to everybody else.
Okay.
See if it takes a bit.
It certainly does. Yep, you arrive back on the shore.
I grab the hoop
Okay.
and then go back to the obelisk.
Okay, you make your way back over to the obelisk.
And I switch the hoop for the file
Okay.
to shore.
All right.
The file with the rust monster.
Okay.
Before I do this, did we Did she say anything about the rust monster eating the hoop?
She said that the hoop is metal.
Right. Probably not a good idea to leave that with them. Okay, yeah. So I'll bring the rust monster over, take the hoop back.
Okay.
Shoot, I twisted myself up, I think.
That's okay. You guys take all the time you need.
There right now.
I think he just took the rust monster over and came back, right? So now the only thing over there is the rust monster, and now you guys are here with the hoop and the ochre jelly. The file.
Quiet for a little bit.
What's that?
I said I'm thinking, so that's why I'm be quiet for a little bit.
Okay.
And Arya said nothing might happen if you left the hoop with the jelly.
That is correct.
So I'll bring the hoop back. Leave the hoop on the obelisk, and then go back for the rust monster, and now all three should be on the obelisk.
So what was the order that you did things in? So you said rust monster first.
Yeah, and then I came back for the hoop.
Then you came back with the rust monster and you left the hoop on the island. Then you did what? So
And then he did the jellies and the rust monster.
good job, guys. You did it.
Yeah.
All right.
Did it.
So
Do this riddle with a wolf, a chicken, and bees. So I was trying to remember how it equated to these guys.
yeah. Shout outs to Giggle Fairy for suggesting that riddle. That was super good. I think I've heard of that like a million years ago, but I didn't. It was perfect. Good job, Giggle Fairy. Thank you very much. You accomplish the correct order. You sacrifice the rust monster over the spot. Its blood seeps down into the arcane machine, and we can hear it start to with power from within. The metal hoop is then placed in. Oh, I forgot. You use the ochre jelly to clean out the blood and guts of the last rust monster that was slain 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Then you slaughtered the rust monster, and then you placed in the hoop, which arcs of electricity held out from before you. You could feel through your magical intuition that your hands were to turn it, and as you did so, this huge plume of light erupts from the top of the obelisk, and the entirety of Blackwood is ensconced in this prismatic, glistening wall that, for all intents and purposes, has completely cut the city off from the rest of the world. The sky is peering through in auroras of blue and green and red and violet, and all across the city we can see people stopping to look up and smiling and cheering that the first of the tasks has been accomplished, and they all cheer with a loud celebration that you can hear even where you are at the shores of the colleges. The university students around clap and give you guys a whole hip hip hooray, and Good job. You have accomplished one of the tasks, guys.
I'm so proud of you two for pulling that off. And giving me a great distraction because I had no idea what any of you were doing, and so I went over here and I painted whiskers on the statue.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would have noticed.
Nope, they were all distracted by you, activating a gigantic magical barrier that, in some way is saving the city from who the hell knows what.
Oh, it's more for show.
Yep.
It's more for show right now. It's not under. Yeah, it's more for show right now. Like, this is part of the ritualistic thing. This is one of the things that the Lost Hero gave us. Is this huge prismatic wall. Natalie, you were trying to say something?
Just saying it was all Soren. Like I hadn't figured it out.
Well, good job, Soren.
Thank you.
As it would so be, it was the perfect opportunity to climb up onto the statue and draw whiskers on it.
Indeed.
I'm gonna back away before any guard happen to notice.
Yep, I saddle my way on down and rejoin you guys.
All right. So it took you the better part of the afternoon. You guys had met one another at Castle Vandrean at high noon, and then you were set off on your journey. You did a great job. You made great time. It just took a good deal of time traveling on the Tensor's floating disc from the shores to the obelisk. So that ate up the rest of y'all's day. But you check the contract that you were given, and it says down at the bottom in the fine print that if you show this contract to the purveyor of Despair's Demise, you will be permitted up to 3 days free room and board.
I like the sound of that.
I think I saw that place when I came through the gate.
Upon closer inspection, it also says down at the bottom that once you have completed all of these tasks, you will all be entitled to your share of 100 gold pieces. So you will also be paid for your service into the city. They're not just, haha, you're screwed, you're working for us. They are paying you pretty well for it, I might add.
Well, this is pretty good pay for a recently harbored illegal adventurer. My goodness, I came to this city to escape stuffy rules. Wherever you go, wherever you go.
So do you guys...
Shall we go and see our new quarters? I don't remember where that place is.
It is over here.
I do need me a nice pile of pillows.
All right. With another screen cut, we see the party arriving outside a absolutely massive, I guess you could consider it like a the size of a two-story building, the skull of an ancient green worm, long dead and long sun-bleached. Outside of one of the eyes, you can see a candle glow, and it looks like whatever door sits behind the other is currently closed, or sits behind the window of the other is currently closed. And there are people moving here and there, coming in and out of the tavern. Some drunk, some not, but most seem to be in pretty good spirits. Yeah.
That's a big bone. Take a pretty big dog to chew on that bone. Oh, I don't know how anyone can sleep in here. But I'm going to because I have been for far too long.
I think our rooms are upstairs.
There's more stairs. Day never ends.
Not more stairs.
Uppity.
So, as you guys make your way inside the maw of the ancient dead worm, you can see the purveyor of the establishment is a dwarf with his long red hair and a mohawk, and his beard, this billowing red coil of hair. He cheers when he sees you holding the contract and says, "Ha! I knew I'd see you by the end of the day. Looks like you got a good start to it. Welcome, welcome."
Thank you very much.
That I'm used to having.
Oh yes, oh yes. Let me just say that I have introduced this land to my whiskers, and now it is time to wet them.
Ah,
Barkeep, higher the hair, the closer to heaven. Give me something that will fuck me up.
oh, I've got something right ready for you. You ever heard of Rotwood whiskey?
I don't, but I want to rot some wood with whiskey.
We import it from the Isle of Seer. Only place we can get it since Evelight became what it is now. He's saying this as he's pouring a shot from a small cask that's sitting on the bar, and he slams one down for you. Okay, he pours one out for each of all three of you, and he says, "I hope that you're not going to be partaking in any more adventures for the day. This might put you on your ass."
Well, that's where I want it to put me. I have been on my feet for far too long, and I take it.
Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, friend.
Hell yeah, this is what you do in a bar. 10.
10.
Hell yeah.
Not a 12. You can start to see, like, for a moment, you just get the burn of the alcohol, and it just fills you with warmth, and it gives you this, like, really, like, effervescent, like, feeling behind your eyes. And then suddenly, that feeling starts to, like, move and radiate, and like the walls start breathing a little bit, not like heavy, not like like scary necessarily, but the lights definitely get a little bit brighter. The bar beneath your hand starts to look like it's like stretching away from you, and then when you reach out for it, it like all at once slams into your hand.
Oh, bugger me, rotten barkeep. Someone is turning me into a violin because my catguts are being shorn to pieces.
Aye, it's the strongest stuff we got.
He just looks at the shot glass and he questions whether or not he's going to make a very bad decision. And he does. Give me another.
All right, gonna have to charge you for this one.
Yes, of course. I'll give him the pay for this stuff.
All right, it is a gold each. He pours you out
yeah.
another one and slams it on the table for you.
Alrighty then. I sop it down, delight in my incandescence, and then slam my head into the bar.
Yeah, the check goes up by one each drink. You go on your little acid trip, man. Have fun.
Oh.
No liquor that Rathian can't handle. Let me see what this is all about. I also didn't know to import my character sheet, so I'm just gonna do a regular roll.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, what's your con mod?
I don't have anything to add to it.
Ooh, yeah. So much the same as our Tabaxi friend. The walls begin moving around you, and the dwarf, which poured you this wonderful, wonderful liquor, is smiling, and his teeth begin to like grow outside of his face until it looks like he's just one massive smile, and then you blink, and he's normal but like really rosy faced. And
there's nothing that Baratheon handles can't. I'm fine. This is nothing.
But it was something.
This is everything.
I'm looking at the other two. and just shaking my head, but I can't be the only one. But I also know my parents were born of stronger stock, so let's see.
Peer
I fumbled.
pressure.
I'm choosing a different die. That one fumbled on me twice.
You fumbled.
I got a nat 1
Oh,
on my
man.
con save.
Oh, my companions, listen to the purple-haired man. For when he sings, snakes burst from your eyeballs.
Oh no, please, not snakes from my eyeballs. Bracken starts
Is
panicking.
what he wishes, to sail the seas with merry men, until he feels like filling their lives with snakes.
I
Oh, the old god.
look at sticks and stones, and I cast prestidigitation in front of his eyes, so it looks like there's a static image of the snake.
Oh my god. Give me a save against being afraid. A wisdom save.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I-
definitely gonna.
Immediately prostrate before it.
Oh my god.
Because I think it is a sign from the great madness god of revelry.
It's also only like
Behold!
Tackle him.
What was that?
Lethal tackle. I'm gonna tackle him and try and get the snakes off his eyes.
So you feel yourself being, at the same time that you're being slammed to the ground by your paladin friend, you feel your consciousness be elevated to the degree where, like, you can see your body beneath you, while the image of the snake that which was once static begins, like, moving and shifting before you, while clouds begin to flow off of it. It wraps itself around you, and then just as it looks as though it is going to bite you on the face, it gives you a little snake slithery kiss, and you awaken to see your paladin friend, like, standing over you, like, I gotta get the snakes off of you! I gotta get the snakes!
Oh, great god of rebirth and revelry. I am reborn in this city. And I just put my hands out and go, I'm a bird, I'm a bird, I'm a bird.
Snake Soren, the snake has gotten them.
So Soren, your friends are they're freaking out. Are you gonna do anything to help them?
I cast dancing lights and have just more snake images just float in the wall.
All right.
This is a religious moment for Sticks and Stones, let me assure you.
I imagine it would be. I imagine that Sticks and Stones, I don't like to tell characters how they feel, but I imagine at this moment Sticks and Stones probably feels as though, like, this is a person that your god has now put in your life for you to be with.
You have no idea. Fucking working up the snakes business. So Styx, I'm deriving this character from a Theros campaign where we were in literally Greece, and Styx worshipped Dionysus in that campaign. I'll figure out what the iteration for that is here as it's necessary, but he worships the old world Dionysus, the one from Mycenae in Greece. That was actually kind of the equivalent of Hades in Mycenae.
Ooh.
He was a madness god of rebirth. The fertility rites of wine that came from him and went into antiquity Greece are basically representative of the rebirth of oneself after inebriating.
Huh. That's fucking badass, dude. I like that a lot.
And yep. And one of the stories from Mycenaean Greece, Dionysus, was that he was once captured by pirates, and he went on a merry adventure with them for a grand long time until he got bored, and then made snakes explode from their eyes as beautiful trumpets played in the distance.
That is
Because
beautiful.
Dionysus is fucking crazy.
I love it. Dionysus is fucking nuts, dude. We can work on the equivalent. There's a couple of gods that might kind of fit that bill, but if none fit enough, we can always work something out, and we can make one.
Ultimately, he's from a faraway land, so should be one.
Traveler from Critical Role, but
I didn't hear what you said. What's that, buddy?
oh, the Traveler is a Critical Role trickster god. I don't remember what the core.
It's more than trickster. It's a very interesting.
Or it's like Ouroboros and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's an Ouroboros. One grows the grapes. The grapes die, turning into wine. One imbibes the wine, and then one throws up in the fields to refertilize them. Dionysus.
Jesus Christ.
Right? Mycenaean Dionysus was crazy.
That is fucking sick.
Anyways, I pass out. I
Okay.
don't think there's any more in him.
Yeah. I think that would probably be a good point for that to make sense.
And
Soren?
with that, I think my day concludes.
Yeah, I wanted to give everybody else a shot.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm gonna quickly step away. I'll be right back.
No problem. Soren, all of the tavern purveyors, or patrons, I guess I should say, all of the tavern patrons are totally vibing on your snakes slithering around the air in their dancing light form. Even those that...
bar was on this stuff.
Well, not everybody is. That's why they're not freaking out, right? They just see the light show and they're like, oh, look at this. This is a talented magician putting on a nice show. That's what they assume. Whether or not you're doing that, that's what they think you're doing. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said no schooling. This is all me.
Do you want to give us a performance check?
Okay. We can certainly try. 18.
Nice. Go ahead and roll D6. Very nice. Once you have substantially put on a show for everybody, and flexed your whole, and I never even studied. I'm just what is it that you say to everybody to like perform to them?
I think I just start singing. What are my languages? Probably start singing in Dwarvish, and just having the lights flash in time to it.
Awesome.
So just some sort of Dwarven drinking song.
I love it, dude. That's so cool. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Everybody starts singing along with you. The dwarves that would know it. If it's a song that has kind of how drinking songs kind of have a thing that everybody can chime in on. I imagine everybody would probably start chiming in on that. And by the time you're done with your performance, you find at your feet a total summation of 5 gold.
Not bad for a half elf.
I just remembered I forgot to change the music 30 minutes ago. My bad, guys. Good job. Wonderful
When
job.
enough time has passed, can I roll another Constitution save to see if I sober up?
Sure. Nice.
Hell
Very
I
nice.
slapped myself a few times. Wait a second. These aren't real snakes. My God. Oh, I think that's enough drinking for me tonight.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to do before you turn in for the evening, Baratheon? All right. Well, you guys are given the rooms to your, or excuse me, the keys to your room by the dwarven bar owner, which he introduced himself earlier as Ulin. I don't think I said it. That is his name. You all have your individual rooms. You have the nicest of accommodations that they can afford here in Despair's Demise, which includes a chest with which to lock whatever valuables you might want to protect, and I imagine that probably a couple of what would you call them? Bodyguards, not bodyguards, but like security officers in the bar would have helped our Tabaxi friend to bed safely and seen to it that he is undisturbed.
Likely someone who would arrive to do that. My background is a riff off the noble, and I have retainers. So my
Ooh.
retainers will likely do so. They have been holding to their own, awaiting my arrival here, and they knew this was going to happen, so they jumped to the scene. I have 3 retainers, as comes with the background. They are servicemen of my family. There is Hark a Vagrant, a dusty-looking tabaxi man. Summertime Sadness, a very dour-looking tabaxi woman. And Linus, who's just a portly little human guy.
I love it. Those are wonderful names. Yeah, so they arrived probably as the song was going on, and as they were like starting to carry you up the stairs. They certainly would have taken the imagery as seriously and probably stuck around until the song ended. Summertime Sadness singing next or humming softly to the tune because she doesn't know the words, and yeah, I suppose that they probably would have seen to it that you were safely ferried to bed and watched over to make sure that no would-be bad people could get to you.
They know how to deal with me. I've been like this for a long time.
Hark a Vagrant says to Linus, make sure that you get enough lemon water for Master. In the morn, he'll need all of the sugars he can stand. All right, we can go ahead and I guess move over to the next day if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, off we go.
Alrighty. So, you have accomplished one of the 4 tasks set before you. The Arcane Colleges has been accomplished. What is the next one that you guys want to go to? The Garden District, the Gold District, or the Great Bazaar?
Well, once I finally get over my hangover, I'm going to do one thing. I'm going to instruct my retainers to go about and find suitable gifts for our contacts up to this point. I'm going to give Linus a gold to find a gift for the tavern keep. I'm going to give Hark a Vagrant 10 gold to find a gift for the Archmage. And I'm not going to give Summertime Sadness any money. I'm going to ask her to find out how much does it take to impress the bear.
Oh, okay, so let me make sure I write all this down. So Sticks and Stones gave Linus 1 gold to purchase, and use. What specifically did you tell him to find?
Something that suits the aesthetic that he has observed of the barkeep. Uses intuition, they're smart. and they're basically the sort of individuals that, run gifts for nobility. This is not new to them.
Of course, they are trained gift givers, which was like a legitimate thing. Absolutely.
Yes, it was. It definitely was.
Okay, so to purchase something that suits the aesthetic of Ulin, barkeep Ulin. Okay, wonderful. You give
10 gold to Hark to find something for the Archmage of the college. And I know I can't afford the Barons, so I just want Summertime Sadness to look about, get a sense of what this guy's, gift level is, so that I can make decisions down the line.
find out what she can about the Baron and his interests. Okay, so Summertime Sadness would say, I will do all that I can. I think that you know that a little bit of oil to grease the machine wouldn't really make sense in that context, would it? A little bit of grease for the palm would help go a little bit longer of a way. Mechanically, what she's describing is that she is effectively taking a downtime activity for you, which would be investigation. So she could roll investigation using your ability modifiers and everything, and normally it costs 10 gold to roll investigation with 1 week of work. So she can attempt it with disadvantage, or you can have her spend 10 gold to bribe the right people and do whatever she needs to do.
You know what? I'll put these things in motion. Yes.
Okay. So spends 10, gives... Okay. All right. We can... I will definitely write all those down, and I'm going to make myself a note. Resolve these rolls in 1 week's time, because it does take a week for investigation. The gift for the Archmagister and the barkeep will probably be done today.
Excellent.
Barkeep.
Somewhere she's my sweet. She's the one I leave to answer the big questions.
Excellent. All right. She hums a tune of acknowledgement and agreement, and happily takes the coin and makes her way out after eating a quick meal of buttered bread.
Excellent. Alright. Well, fellows, still a little bit in the pits from yesterday, but if I am not mistaken, the Gold District has 2 towers, which means it is the second most towers in the city, which makes it the second best.
I do find it hard to argue with that logic.
It is quite on the snout, isn't it?
What say you, Soren?
Sure. I don't think there's real rhyme or reason to completing these.
You can do it in whichever order you prefer. Yep.
So
There is 3 towers in Arcane College, 2 in Gold, 1 in Garden, and none in the Great Bazaar. This is how they mentor us to do it.
Can't argue with that. All right. After a quick breakfast of thick-cut bacon and big hearty eggs with a glass of freshly squeezed orange juice from the Emerald Tower itself, you are off to the Gold District. Alrighty, let me change the music because I remember this time. Okay, so as you arrive in the Gold District, you can see that it is indeed the Guild of Mercenaries. Goldleaf is the neighborhood that exists there, and pretty much the only people that can afford to live up here are the people that get paid the kind of lives that professional soldiers of fortune can afford. The Redhorn Estates greets you as you first enter off on your right side, and the contract does say to go to the Redhorn Estates.
You go there, not to the towers. It's a little bit of a letdown, but can't argue with paper.
Oh,
I'm trying. It doesn't respond to you.
what was that, Jonathan?
I said many have tried.
Many have tried.
I am one of them. It does not listen. Let us be on our way then. Meet the ones that we must talk to.
All right. So as you make your way into the Redhorn Estates, you can see that this is a very nice district amongst a very nice like a very nice neighborhood amongst a very nice district. This is where all of the city guard dwell. You would probably be able to find out from anyone that you would ask, not that you necessarily did, but I do find it important to point out that the guards of Blackwood are not necessarily regular city guard. They function like regular city guard, but they were the first mercenary guild that was founded here and have held the only contract that is the defense of the city of Blackwood. It is one of the many ways that Blackwood has done whatever it can. The government of Blackwood has done whatever it can to maintain a separation between business and government in the city of Blackwood, and through that, independence, or at least his idea of independence. As you make your way in, you can see that there is a number of soldiers walking around, and they have the name Redhorns for a reason on all of their helmets. A pair of horns come off the side, made of the bone of some various creatures. Some of them seem to be ram, others might be the horn of a more exotic creature. But all of them are tipped with red. They have been dipped in some kind of red, like wax or paint or something that sticks off to the side of it and makes it stand out amongst the sides, so that anybody can see at the first sight that this is a person meant to protect and serve the people of Blackwood. The soldiers around you would probably stop you and ask you what you're doing in the Redhorn district.
For paper. Show them the paper.
They tell you to go on ahead and go over to the practice fields, where yeah.
Do just that.
All right.
Because I have paper.
So before we do the next part, let's go ahead and get tokens for you guys. Do you have specific PNGs that you wanted me to use, or do you want me to use my best estimation of what I have?
You can use the PNG that's attached to my sheet.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured.
Pick one for me, because I don't even know where those are.
Best approximation.
Got it. All right, I'm going to do that real quick. I forgot where I put them for a moment. I believe I put them in my pictures. Yep. And roll 20 PNGs. There we go. Okay, I need... Soren, you're a half drow, or you're a full drow? Half drow. Okay. Well, I hope that this will suffice.
A full drow token would be fine too.
That's what it is. Oh goodness, it's huge. Okay. And then let me go ahead and give you control of that real quick.
Got it.
Alright, and then a half elf for Natalie. Or no, he's an elf. He's an elf. He's a full elf.
Wood elf.
Wood elf, yeah. Do. I'm looking. Sorry, I'm trying to be as quick as I can. I've got quite a few PNGs to search through.
Just an elf is fine. Or
Okay.
something that looks like a paladin.
I'll give you something that looks like a paladin.
That works.
Okay, as you approach the practice field, you can see a large number of the Red Horns training for the day. Some doing calisthenics, some doing circuits around the practice field, some practicing their archery, and others their maneuvers on the dummies. A large minotaur with his horns drenched in red is standing barking orders to all of them, yelling to some, "Pick up the pace," with this deep guttural, like, feel it in your bones bellow. The people that are listening to him, they sure seem to take heed, and they very quickly do so.
So we have to fight these guys.
Can't hear you.
So we get to fight these guys.
I mean, I did not say roll initiative yet. That is yes. We are going to be going into combat.
Certain presumptions are made.
Yeah, certain presumptions are made when we start bringing the tokens out. Oh, you know what? I didn't give you control of your person. Let me do that real quick. There you go. And Natalie, you can feel free to go into the settings and like put your hit point values and all that stuff, your armor class, all that stuff if you want to. You don't have to do it right now, but if you want to, you can. Yeah. So the large minotaur notices you three when you approach, and says, "Itinerants, huh?"
Itinerant what? Oh, yes, that is how they refer to us. Yes, that is we.
Well, looks to me like you need my approval, huh?
Why, yes, indeed. And may I assure you, I have chosen many ingratiating words to do just that.
Well, try not to kill anyone. That goes for all of you, he says, and 4 of his guards move in, and 1 of his captains. And
anyone, right?
yeah, try not to kill anyone.
We are going to fight? Thought I just needed to sing you a sonnet or something.
He is not impressed. He is not impressed at your words. He pretends he does not hear them.
Ah, all right, then we must fight them, yes.
He's a minotaur of few words, and he's only impressed by one thing. Y'all want to go ahead and roll initiative?
Here we go.
Oh, wow. My first roll of the campaign. I have no problem in telling you this because you're going to find out in just a moment. My first roll of this campaign was a natural 20.
Fun.
No, but only hit it twice.
That's a good sign, right? Alright, I'm getting the PDF I need open real quick.
Where do I go to add my stats? I go in settings and I don't see that.
Maybe one of you guys can help her. I'm not quite familiar.
I know how to do it, like if I had a character journal, but because you would open up the turn order, and then we would click on our token and initiative on the character sheet.
Nice.
Which means he needs added, or...
Or D20 plus your initiative. I mean, yeah, your initiative modifier.
Yeah.
That's it. What you do is you add whatever it is, and then
Tyrell, push your dex.
Yeah.
do this.
Sorry, I was getting everything pulled up.
Oh shit! It did not post it. I'll post it in Discord, and then you'll see it. You can use this macro to send an initiative roll to the initiative counter.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I'm not intimately familiar with Roll20. I really only have used it to run games, and in that it's basically just served as like the backdrop and the dice roller. But thank y'all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the numbers we have is 14, 15, and what did you get, Cece? Is that a 13? I can't tell. So is everybody's initiative in? I can't hear you. I don't know why your mic is doing weird stuff.
And I think mine was 15.
Yeah, 15. Jonathan, you got 14, and CC, you got what?
I got myself 15.
15. Okay. So the captain got a natural 20. The guards got a 4. So it's going to go the captain, you guys all go, and then the guards go, okay? So
Alrighty.
the captain takes out a heavy crossbow and loads a blunted coral onto it. And he is going to go ahead and attack. Alright, so the first one is going to be a... Oh, he can only make one ranged attack. He only makes 2 melee attacks. So the first one was going to be a flat 7 with a bonus of 2 to hit. That is a 9 at the first person, which would probably be the paladin that he saw and took as a threat. And that is, I'm going to assume, a 9. Just plain clatters off your shield. Excellent. Alright, he is then going to move over here. And that is his turn. It is all of you guys.
Oh, righty then. Who's highest?
I think that might have been me, actually. I don't know. I got 15.
Both of y'all got 15, right?
Right,
Alright,
you can
you're
go
first. Then screw it. If we're all just kind of going in a clump, I'll go. It's like, whoa! You wouldn't attack
for
an
it.
unarmed cat, would you? Or maybe you would, because you are obviously an arsehole. And I'm going to viciously mock this guy right here.
Alright, wisdom save. He... Oh, I'm sorry. He rolls a natural 16, so that is going to be a total of... I went too far. Yeah, 16 total.
Oh, you have a bit of gumption to you. Well, that is just fine. Oh, my great paladin, could you please smite this individual for me, and I will inspire you, paladin. You got bardic inspiration.
What?
Do I?
I think
No, you don't get smites till 2nd level.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. I don't know how to attack. I haven't played on this before.
It's okay. You can just click the d20 and then add your bonus to hit. I think it's a +5.
Okay. Well, I'm going to run up on this guy. It's going to be 13 total to hit him with my longsword.
Oh, unfortunately, does not hit. That is a little bit shy. He is blocking you with his shield.
Alright.
Oh, did you add your bardic inspiration to that?
Oh, no, I didn't. What do I add to that?
You will roll 1d6.
Let's go. There you go. That's exactly what you needed. So that takes the 13 to a 16. So he would have blocked you with his shield, but the word smite rings out in your head, and instead of just stopping at the shield, you just force the sword through and down and like clobber him over the clavicle. And then that's going to be how much damage total?
It's going to be 8 damage total.
8 damage. Your strength modifier is +5?
Yeah.
I thought...
Oh,
no.
wait, I'm looking at my my old book, the handwritten character sheet. That's 6 total. Not bad.
Okay, so 6 damage. Yeah, you hear a crack. It doesn't sound like you broke anything, but you definitely bruised his bone, and he yelps in pain. Soren.
I just watched the paladin get shot at with a heavy crossbow, so I pull out my arcane focus and I cast mage armor on myself.
Smart move.
And I'm gonna scoot 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm just gonna scoot back there. And that's my turn.
Okay. The guard's turn. So I think this guard would come over here and get on the other side of the paladin, where this guard would, let's see, 5, 15, 20, 30 would move here. This guard, 5, 15, 20, 30 would move here. So this guy cannot quite reach with his spear. So, oh well, I guess he could reach with his spear from there, can't he? Yeah, he's got reach. Right, let me pull out the ruler. Oops, not the corner. Snap to the center. 10 feet, yeah, so he does have reach. Okay. So this guy is going to attack sticks and stones.
Wait.
Alright, he gets a total of 13.
That does not do it. Yoink. Oh, goodness. You could poke out an eye with that.
You're too fast. Too fast. Alright, this guy with his spear is going to try to hit Soren. Oh, I am so sorry, Soren. That is a 21 to hit.
Oh.
And well, the good news is he only deals 1 damage.
That's a lot better.
Yeah. Alright. So he runs up, thrusts his spear out, and it looks like he's going to score a grievous wound on you, but your mage armor like deflects it, and instead of it going straight into your gut, it just like boop, slices your side, and you can hear the Minotaur yell, "I said don't go for any kills!" And the guard right in front of you apologizes. The two attacking the paladin, one of those is going to be a 14, the other one is going to be a 19. Only one of those hits, okay. Alright, it deals 2 damage to you. They come in... I'm sorry?
I said, cometh at me, bro.
Cometh at me, bro. Yeah, they come in tandem, swinging their spears in like these big, huge arcs, trying to distract you. You catch one on your shield. The other one's just a little bit too quick, and you can feel it like catch in your leg, but your leg holds strong. And I believe that takes us back to the top of the turn order to the captain, who is now going to move here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. and make 2 attack rolls against the paladin. Sorry, but you are a big tank. Okay, well, I don't feel too bad now because that is a natural 7 and a natural 3, so I don't feel too bad now. That is going to be a total of 12 and 8.
Probably not.
I do not think so. So that takes us back to you guys.
Alrighty then. Well, things are closing in. These suckers around me are kind of obnoxious, but they're not really threatening me. This guy seems like a problem. And I will glamor over to him and say, "You would do well not to linger behind the paladin's back. God watches over them. They see what you do not see."
Ooh.
And he's gonna start hearing things in his head because I cast Dissonant Whispers.
He gets a total of a 9 on his wisdom saving throw.
Alrighty then, he takes the full 5 damage, and he needs to use his reaction to make a move action as far away from me as he can.
Oh, okay. So he's going to go... you're going to get an attack of opportunity, Paladin. So 5, 15, 20, 30. So total to hit is going to be 14, right? I wrote down his stats. He's got different stats than the one in the monster manual.
Right.
14 does not hit. I'm sorry. He's got a bit higher armor class than that. Yeah, like literally just a little bit higher. All right. 5 damage. He starts bleeding from the nostril as he runs away in terror. Who wants to go next?
Let's finish off the guy in front of me.
Okay.
Hopefully. Probably not. That's a 13.
No, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Oof.
How do you rule flanking?
I don't count for flanking. It's a variant rule.
Okay.
I think it's too broken, honestly.
Then I'm gonna stay where I am. This was the one that Natalie had been going after.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to reach out with my arcane focus and chill touch him.
Okay.
15.
Yes.
Yeah, that is 4 damage, 4 necrotic.
He passes out unconscious. Boop.
Yeah, so I poop him on the nose. I look at the guy that stabbed me and say, "No hard feelings, but just know I can do that."
He turns around. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, and then I point to the guy that I spectrally booped.
Yeah, he turns to see the guy like swirling his head around in this daze as like black veins run down his body, and then like he just like turns and like passes out. And I'm assuming that since they said non-lethal, you don't make it last. You
Right.
stop the necrosis from killing him. Good sport.
Non-lethal necrotic.
It doesn't normally work that way, but we'll make it work for the purposes of this encounter. I mean, technically, by rules as written, it does. I think it's a little weird. Okay, so this one right here is going to attack the pally. He gets a 7. This one right here is going to say, well, you might be able to do that, but I can do this and try to hit you with a spear and get a 10. And then this other guy over here is going to move forward and attack Sticks and Stones. And I'm sorry, that's a natural 20.
Oh dear.
I don't do crazy crits. So that's a total of 5 damage.
Ow.
I'm very sorry. He smacks you with his the butt of his spear really hard.
I am just watching their captain run away cowardly, and I'm very, very open.
The captain needs to make a wisdom saving throw, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yep.
He gets a total of 12.
That does not do it.
So he must continue running away.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. He drops his mace and his shield, and he just books it off the practice field. That rhymed. I'm a poet. He ran away. Okay, it's back to you guys.
Well, in that case. Oh, goodness. I wonder who's going to be getting the promotion. Not you. You are an arsehole. And I point to the one who's attacking me, and I mock him.
Okay. He gets an 8.
Yep, he's viciously mocked. He takes 2 psychic damage. He has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
All right. We can see a small runnel of blood leak out of one of his ears. And he looks kind of dazed, like he just got shell-shocked. And the booming voice of Riordan Redhorn, the Minotaur, yelling at his captain, who is probably about to lose his job, or at least get a big old demotion, as he runs off the field. Okay, who wants to go next?
It's the guy to my left.
Yeah, the guy in front of you is unconscious, so the guy to your left is not. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Give it to him, dude. Nice! You knock him out in one hit. All right. Yeah, so you just turn to the other guy, and I guess with like the pommel of your sword, you clap him on the side of his helmet. He reels and collapses, and you move forward. Onward. I'm assuming avoiding the attack of opportunity.
Well, actually, this is. I want to move right here.
Okay.
This is what I want. I don't think I can avoid the attack of opportunity. No, I'm still.
No, you won't. You won't incur one. You won't incur any. You won't incur any.
Okay,
As long
yeah.
as you don't move into somebody's threat range and then back out, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna stay right here.
Okay. Soren.
Well, I have disadvantage if I try any of my spells, so I'll unsheath my dagger and I'll try to swing at the guy that keeps trying to poke me. 18.
Yes, sir.
6 damage.
6
That's
damage. He is unconscious.
Sorry, buddy.
Yep. So you
Uh,
you get in there with a crafty blow.
I'll hit him in the nose with the pommel of my dagger.
There's a loud crunch as the cartilage shatters and blood spews down his face, and he collapses to the ground. Alright, the last guard. He sees that the odds are stacked against him, but I think he is still a little bit more afraid of the Minotaur than he is of you guys. So with disadvantage, he is going to try to attack the Paladin. I got 6.
You failed.
Alright, so who wants the glory kill?
You think your attention should be there, but whatcha! I whip him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
7 slashing damage.
Yep.
Nice. How do you take him out?
I just I crack him right on the ankle so that he goes crumpling over, and then I get my whip wrapped around his neck and just, let him know he's done.
He's tapping you on the tapping you on the arms like a jujitsu artist, like please, and then eventually stops.
You must excuse me. I have a way of leaving people speechless.
The Minotaur lets out a hearty laughter and claps himself on the knee as he stands up from underneath the tent. And as he makes his way over back into the courtyard, he says, "Well, I'll be God's damned. That was quite a show you folks put on."
You will find that is where I specialize.
Well, you certainly earned my approval.
That is wonderful to hear.
And he signs the contract where the dotted line is for him to sign. I think I forgot to mention the Archmagistrate doing that as well. I'm sorry.
Yeah. A very swarthy signature.
He says, sorry, go ahead.
I look up in the sky for any more lights, or was that just a mage ward thing?
The prismatic wall went down after the night. It stayed up all night, but it would cost way too much in components for them to keep it going the whole time.
I believe that is all the fanfare that we will receive in a military complex, my friends.
All right. So,
In the past.
say that again.
That's been my experience in the past.
I'm sorry. I still didn't know what you said.
I believe she said that's been her experience in the past.
Oh, that's been her experience in the past. Oh, yes. Yeah. No, the Minotaur immediately begins back barking orders at his men. They bring out stretchers to carry the unconscious guys off and let them cool down. And he says, "Well, be on your way then. Got training to attend to."
Easy come, easy go. Let us find somewhere beautiful to spend an hour, and then be on our way to the next location. Because I took a hit and could really use a short rest.
Not a bad plan, not a bad plan. All right, so where do you guys want to go kill an hour?
That is, we haven't seen the Temple Commons, and there's a very big statue there that would be quite lovely to behold, I imagine.
You put whiskers on the Platinum Dragon.
I don't know if I'm going to do that. I do it because I had an opportunity.
All right.
Now I need rest.
All right, are we in agreement? We go to the Temple Commons to kill the hour.
Yeah.
All right. It is a beautiful sect of the city. A large statue of the Platinum Dragon Bahamut sits in the courtyard. It seems to be gilded in silver and platinum itself, so worth way more than it should feasibly be. Any rational person would just leave lying around, so it indicates that they feel pretty secure in themselves to just leave something like this out here, whereas anybody could just come up and like chip off a piece of it and then run off with it. But you also do see paladins of the Order of Bahamut here and there, and then also off into the corner you see like a small sect of it's like a not really a tower per se, as much as it is just a like a spired 3-story building that has the Order of Nagarok's sigil on it as well, indicating that they would offer and render services to the paladin in the party.
This is these people's god, is it? They spare no expense to venerate him, that is for certain.
You can hear a voice from behind you say, "Indeed, for it is our place, and it is our privilege."
It is a privilege to be in service to a god. I have met people who have been taken from it, did not respond well to leaving the faith.
A gold dragon.
That god there? Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, that's Nagarok, right?
Over off to the side, this big statue is a statue of Bahamut.
Oh, well, I point to the one of Nagarok. You see that god there? That is my god. And someday, he and I will be one.
Yours specifically, like one would own a saddlebag.
Perhaps one day.
That is a unique way of looking at one's service to a deity. One that I dare imagine comes with some baggage.
Don't they all?
You are an interesting one.
A gold dragonborn walks around the side of you and says, "Yes, even the sword god is welcome here. We know of the logic your people apply to the world. You keep what you kill. Is that not correct?" I'm sorry? Yeah, she said, "You keep what you kill." Is that not correct?
Yes, that is correct.
You'll find we do things quite differently at the Asylum of Bahamut. Killing is a last resort. Please make yourselves at peace here. If you require spiritual guidance, simply reach out. I am Tempus Erit. I run the church here. If there's anything you need of me, itinerants, I am but a call away. And with that, she leaves you to enjoy your short rest.
It certainly is a nice change of pace to meet one who does not immediately ask something of us.
Indeed.
Well, religious folk are interesting, and they tend to keep their places quiet. So I imagine we will have a due rest here, and then we can be on our way. And I will do the stuff that I do on a short rest, and get back some hit points.
There you go. You feel much... I'm sorry. Good grief. You feel much more at peace after the hour has passed. Your wounds have been... you can consider them licked, and that is not just a tabaxi pun. But it is also a tabaxi pun. Yeah, you guys catch your breath. You enjoy a nice hour basking in the glow of the temple commons. The people that you see pass by are mostly priests and clergymen, a few paladins, and other order members to keep the peace, patrol regularly. But nobody bothers you. Nobody really goes out of their way to talk to you either.
It's peaceful here. Just like the ocean. We ought to be off to that garden district. They have a very nice tower.
And I may have some pull there being announced in this myself.
There you go.
And let us go meet your people.
All right, so this is probably the best point for us to take a quick break. If you guys need to use the bathroom, refresh your drinks, or anything, we are about halfway through the content. We're two through. The last two can take, who knows how long, but that's pretty much all we have planned for tonight. So if you guys are good with that, then we'll take a quick break. You'll want to be back here at, say, 5 minutes or so.
Sounds good to me.
Great. All right, I will see you guys in 5 minutes.
Easy.
There. No, you don't have it muted. I can hear echoing. Myself.
All right. I should probably tweet that we're still doing this. I think I forgot to tweet that we started. No, I did because Streamlabs makes a tweet. That's right. That's right. All right. Is everybody back?
Yep.
All right. Natalie, I think you might still be muted, baby. I can only hear you because I can hear you through the door.
No?
Yes, there you go. All right. Cece, are we back? I saw you light up. Was that a yes? Oh, I guess it was a yes. All right. So we arrive back on the scene with the party.
Oh yeah.
Crossing the bridge over to the Garden District, the Emerald Tower looming above you. Many alchemists and druid crafters that work in the gardens themselves and live in the cauldron are moving about doing their daily tasks. And you find a large number of alchemists moving this cart being pulled by a horse. They watch very carefully, and at every single shake, they and like put their hands up to steady the cart, and then it moves forward a little bit, and then it shakes a little bit, and they, oh my goodness, oh my god, and they like stop it to shake it, or stop the shaking. Very, very careful to not jostle whatever is being ferried.
Finicky fellow. Maybe you should talk to him.
Sure, I'll sidle up and I'll ask, hey, you need a hand over here?
The one who clearly has the most ornate brooch on turns and says, do you have any like symbol of your office or anything that you would wear on your person at regular times?
Yeah, I think I get something. I definitely have like the letters, but yeah, I probably have like my clothes probably have some sort of guild insignia on it.
Okay. I know earlier you mentioned something about the Merchants Guild, but then I think you said something about the Alchemist Guild. Which one did you say that you were a part of?
Alchemist. I didn't realize they were in opposite ends of the city, but I went with Alchemy as my guild.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So he would turn to you and does it give you an official rank already, or is that something that I would come up with? Because I know some backgrounds like actually have like a level up system through them.
Yeah, it says, as an established and respected member of the guild, you can rely on certain benefits that membership provides. So that's a feature. And then for the equipment, I have a letter of introduction from my guild.
Okay, so he would turn to you and say, "Craftsman, we are ferrying a shipment of alchemist's fire. We have taken them from the guild itself here to the tower to be packed for shipment. These are going to the Nagoran Empire. They are creating some new strange form of alchemist's fire. They're buying up everything."
Wow, that is an impressive, ambitious endeavor. No wonder you're going so carefully with this cart.
Indeed.
How far do you need to go with it?
Just down the road, really. If you wouldn't mind lending your magic to us, I'm sure that it would be much appreciated.
Yes, I will certainly help.
Okay, how do you help him?
I do have mage hand, so I can try to steady it from a distance without further jostling it.
Awesome. Yeah, I won't even require a check for that. I usually like to have spells and stuff just kind of supersede stuff, because that's the cool part about magic, is that you can just tell the world, no, do what I say. Yeah, absolutely. You what does your mage hand look like? What does your magic look like when you cast it?
It's kind of like my shadow actually extends forth and then lifts up off the ground, and the hand like helps lift up, hold on to the cart and just guide it down the road.
Awesome. Yeah. So you help them down the road, and once he's done with it, he flicks you a gold and says, "A penance for your trouble, or a pittance for your trouble. I appreciate it, craftsman."
Always of use of benefit to the guild.
Indeed. I hear that you're traveling with the itinerants now.
Yes, that I am.
Well,
We have been on our way actually to this district to seek the favor of the guildmaster.
he says, "Ah, yes, Avalon. She will be pleased to see you, I'm sure."
And I her, as I write her name down.
Yeah. Avalon, Avalon, Vaughn, Von, Srae, Srae. She is an elf and sister to Baron Ariok von Srae. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yep, I'm ready to go.
Okay, great. So, you're pretty familiar with the Alchemists Guild. I imagine that you would know how to navigate around and find where you're trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you go to her like secretary's desk outside of her office and be like, "Hey, I need to see, I need to see her"?
Yes, and I'll have my introductory letter as well to go with it.
Excellent. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, great. Yeah. So you arrive outside the secretary's office, and you are really familiar with this secretary. Her name is Avara, and she is a tiefling. She is not known to take any shit from anybody, and she does not like having her time wasted. How do you guys proceed?
Well, you know her, yes. Introduce us.
Very well. So I go up and... Good day, Avara. Sorry for the interruption, but I am with the Itinerant Heroes, along with Baratheon and Sticks and Stones here. We were hoping that Avalon von Srae was available for such a purpose.
She looks up from behind these thick-rimmed glasses, and she starts to sneer until you say the word Itinerant Heroes, in which case she kind of like composes herself and looks at you, and then looks at your letter, and then takes your letter very delicately, opens it, reads it, and says, "Ah, yes. I remember your interview."
Whew. Feels like forever ago.
Indeed. Well, your guild dues are current. That's wonderful news. I will go ahead and ask Mistress Avalon if she is willing to see you now. Can I offer you any refreshments?
Oh, yes. Do you have liquor?
There is no alcohol permitted. Sorry.
We'll go with a nice tea, perhaps?
Certainly. You can find one being prepared now. She gestures with her hand, and over off to the side, you can see a half-elf fixing a big glass jug with like a little spigot on the side of it. He's mixing in some like fresh fruit and the tea bags that are like all making it warm and tea like. And then once he pulls the tea bags out, he incants a spell, and frost begins to pour over into the tea and crystallize along the outside. He puts the lid on it, seals it, and then pours a glass for each of you, and offers you some fresh grapes and also apricot.
Grapes and apricot, he's all about that. He just looks at the tea. So is this like when you put catnip into warm water and drink it and get very excited? Is this what this is?
It depends on the leaf.
Easy's
Let's
catnip.
drink it and find out.
Well. And down it goes.
It is cool and refreshing, supernaturally so. In fact, it restores 2d4 hit points to everyone.
Oh, nice.
Whoa. Oh, I'm back up to high health.
Nice. And a spell slot.
Ooh. That's
I'm going to have to learn the recipe for this.
I was waiting to have help to give us the recipe.
He says that that is certainly not permitted. It is a closely guarded secret of the Alchemists Guild.
Oh, come now, sir. You can share it with me. I mean, come on. We're basically the same people. Nudge, nudge.
We are certainly not. Your kind have, what's the word? Extorted this land from us. I mean, no disrespect to you as the itinerant hero. I simply feel no respect towards you for being a knight of the Nagoran Empire.
Well, I tried.
You need not worry about my curiosities. I wouldn't even be able to remember what you told me.
You can find it for purchase, certainly, somewhere in the Emerald Tower, I am sure. If there is anything else, I will be tending to the Rose Gardens.
These people are so stuffy.
Some of us can be. Some of us don't leave our shops to get supplies very often.
These people need to step out and get some daylight. Warm up their fur.
So after a few minutes of refreshing tea and fruit, you are summoned by Avara, who lets you in, or who leads you into Avalon's office. Calling it an office is kind of weird because it's more of just like a hollow on the inside of a tree that she has like used her profound mastery over druidcraft to cultivate into like the perfect home that essentially sits out on the top of the Emerald Tower and like grows further out, branches stretched to the sun. She gestures, and with a loud creaking and moaning, the wood of the inside moves and wraps around itself to form 3 chairs for you all to sit in. And she says, "That will be all, Avara," when the tiefling closes the doors behind her. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
Will then sit, since my boss said it's okay.
I'll take to the seat.
Taking it to the seats. Taking it to the seats. I'm waiting for the paladin to say
Down
that he
in
sits.
my
Okay, thank you.
mail.
she would be polite and wait.
In my plate mail, I sit down.
Surprisingly, it does not seem to struggle at all in holding you. It is very very thick and vibrant wood, still living. She is patient and awaits for all of you to sit down and says, "It is such a pleasure to see you, Solon. When I heard that you had become one of the itinerant heroes, I thought, I knew he was going to make something of himself one day."
Insight check.
Give it to him, dude.
Probably not gonna get me much.
Um,
I didn't know.
so the way that I usually like to roll insight isn't like as a lie detector, right? Because like treating it like a lie detector is more like um, it enforces distrust between like you guys and me. So I usually like to use it as like to give you some kind of insight to the situation if you roll high enough. Um, is there anybody that can find a reason to give him a +1 to take that up to a 5?
I manufacture a +1 to get an insight on what this girl's stick is.
Okay.
I am thinking, I dare imagine that I can distract from the fact that she's being eyeballed very closely by our companion here by soaking up all the attention.
Okay.
I'm basically just wanting to, make sure I'm. After that comment of my dues are in good standing, I'm just kind of looking for more affirmation.
Yep. Well, I know when someone's trying to eye someone up, and when they do so, it's good to not have the attention on you. So I draw attention away from you so you can make your study.
She looked at you like a piece of meat. Not literally like a piece of meat, but like she certainly has some expectation of you. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just kind of awestruck of being in the guildmaster's office.
Yeah, she says, so far you have traveled from my tabaxi friend. From where do you hail?
Far, far south of here, near the ocean.
Ah,
About 20 miles north of the ocean, specifically.
it's been so long since I've seen the ocean. I used to love the ocean.
I still do.
Well, maybe you will be able to see it again someday. And
It
Sir,
always calls them back.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
It always calls you back.
Indeed. And Sir Knight, traveling far from our homeland. She kind of says that jokingly because the Isle of Seer is like a hop and a skip away.
You have to start somewhere.
What better place to start than as an itinerant here in Blacklight or Blackwood? No, sorry.
So we'll do for now.
She takes a long moment to just kind of sit in silence and just enjoy the sounds of like the birds chirping in the trees and the wood cracking as it like shifts and moves. And then finally she says, "So it's my blessing you're after then."
Yes, as we have already done 2 of the districts. So we're just keeping on.
Wonderful. Well, as I'm sure you're very familiar, in order to acquire my approval, you must make your way to the center of the hedge maze.
Am I familiar with that?
They change it every time it's time for the Festival of the Lost, and then it stays that way for the next 10 years. So they just changed it. I will give you advantage on your first roll because it is going to be a skill challenge. If y'all aren't familiar with it, I will explain what those are when we get there. Is there anything else that you'll want to ask her before she sends y'all on your way.
Is it just making it through the maze, or is there something we're trying to locate and bring back?
She says, that is an excellent question. No, just get to the middle. You'll find a sundial there. When you do, make sure you push the central stone into place, and anything that's following you should leave you alone.
Oh, following us?
I wouldn't tarry. I'd try to figure it out as quick as I could.
You might want to have a word with your gardens.
Our gardens tend to themselves in some regards, and that is what you will find within.
I'm rather happy that you drank that tea then. Well, then I suppose we should be off unless there are any other tidbits we should know before going in.
That's pretty much it.
You don't happen to have the map, do you?
She goes,
No,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say that I believe that would go against the purpose of the challenge.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
That would be too easy.
Maybe we can see over the top.
No.
What if we all stack each other? Like, I'll be on the bottom, we'll put Soren in the middle, and the Tabaxi on top.
Very acrobatic.
I'm not very strong.
Okay, you can go on top.
I think that might give advantage to one roll.
I mean,
Oh,
it
well,
works.
let's see what we are approaching.
Yeah, so you exit the Emerald Tower and make your way around back to the hedge mazes. Very large, over 10 feet tall hedges stand before you. And the entrance is pretty much all you can really determine from here. So I will go ahead and mechanically explain, just in case everybody isn't familiar with what skill challenges are. So you can use pretty much any skill that would make sense for you to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. You can use spells. In most cases, spells will just automatically grant a success. So you're trying to reach 5 successes total. If you reach 4 failures, then whatever's following you is probably going to catch up when you make it to the middle.
Well then.
Probably hurry.
So it's kind of up to you guys to determine how you want to divvy it out. Anybody can roll any skill. Usually, if you're proficient with it, it's probably a better idea. You can't roll the same thing twice, but different characters can attempt to do something that a character previously attempted and failed.
Alright. So then, friends, what does your alchemist lore tell us? How should we approach this?
Very carefully. I mean, I could maybe try to study any sort of magic that was put into the maze, but that's about, unless anybody happens to be good with the natural world.
I ain't got no nature.
You could do in theory, you could do both of those things. There's nothing saying that you could only do one of those two things. You can absolutely. It sounds like you're asking to roll Arcana. You can absolutely do that.
Yeah, I was also trying to be like in character, see if anybody had a good nature.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to ruin it. I was just trying to make sure that we all understood what was going on.
Yeah. Oh, I don't have nature, no. This is your domain. Tell us, tell us.
Anybody's good with directions? I don't go too far outside the walls, but
Perception's decent.
why is that so great? Probably my boon would be towards Arcana.
Okay, and remember, you get advantage on your first roll. And also, we go in turns. So one person goes, and the next person goes, and the next person goes, and then it refreshes.
All right.
So, Arcana. Is an 18.
Definite success. Absolutely, yeah. So you recognize the glyphs that were placed within the maze, and you can narrate how you are successful in your first part of the journey, if you so feel like.
Oh, well, since I know that the maze changes every 10 years, I would notice these glyphs and maybe just figure out a pattern for how the new walls would have grown, and then just, well, I mean, we can obviously see the walls, but maybe try to get some sort of a map started.
Yeah.
Unless there's a secret passageway rune that creates a shortcut through the hedges.
Do you have pass wall?
No. Maybe there's a secret button.
Sorry. No.
So, what I'm hearing is my friend here has a hypothesis on how the maze has grown based on where glyphs are placed within it. The glyphs are what nucleate the growing process, I imagine. And what I understand is when you smart people have a hypothesis, they ought to be tested. I'm gonna see if his theory holds true for a couple of bends. I obviously can't get all the way up to look at the entire thing, but I can scoot a few corners really, really quickly
All right.
using my acrobatics.
Give it to us, dude.
All right. Acrobat 18.
Absolutely. Yep. That is a second success. So you, how do you narrate your success?
Well, what I'm doing is I just scurry up the hedge, take a peek over, and then scurry down and report the angles I saw to see if they're lining up with his hypothesis. If it lines up with his hypothesis, then I think we have a way forward. We follow the glyph.
Absolutely. It does seem to line up with the initial hypothesis. You can barely make out one of the glyphs that he proposed should be exactly where it is on the opposite side of the hedge maze, sticking up off of a tall rock. And it does seem to make sense, yeah. Natalie, I believe it is your turn.
I would like my divine sense to see if there are any celestial themes. But that doesn't work if they're in final text.
I'm sorry, it cut out.
I was thinking to try and use my divine sense, but then I realized it doesn't work if the creatures are in total cover and we're in a maze, so everything would be probably totally covered.
Unfortunately so.
So instead, I'm just going to do a perception check to see if maybe there's any footsteps, like disturbance in the path, or broken tree leaves, or branches, just some type of path that maybe someone else has been here before.
All right, give it to him.
I don't know.
Ooh. So while the tabaxi is skittered up into the tops of the trees and having his communication with the half drow, you make your way forward a little bit to see if you can get your bearings and get a good understanding of the surroundings. Unfortunately, it seems to be grown specifically to confound anybody on the inside, and as you begin skirting just a smidge away from the party, you can hear the sound of branches and trees snapping, or branches and bushes, I should say, snapping off in the distance next to you and then away from you.
Sound good?
All right, so we refresh. Who wants to go first this time?
Baratheon, did you hear that? Heard napping twigs. So as we approach a corner, following the path that our friend has kind of hypothesized for us, I will postulate a bit. Well now, let's check down this pathway just a few stones throw. Just to see if there isn't a glyph, you know? And I chuck a few stones into the ground to make it seem like we're going that way. I am deceiving whoever is out there to get them off our table. And I got a 22.
All right, go ahead and narrate your success.
Alrighty then. So I just, eye contact between my party so they understand that I'm bullshitting here. I kind of postulate that I'm going in one direction. I stomp a few there, throw a few rocks further, and then tally back with a tiptoe.
Yeah. Okay. You can hear the sound of the branches and the twigs snapping towards the direction that you threw the stone. Absolutely. Good job. Okay. Who comes next?
Survival.
Survival. Absolutely. You're cutting in and out, babe. I'm sorry.
My headphones just died. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can actually hear you better.
Yeah, like a lot better.
Sorry, I was using my AirPods, so I guess the quality sucked.
This is a big improvement, actually.
Yeah.
I guess I just won't use them next time.
Alright, so what's up?
I'm thinking to use survival. It's still kind of like what I was trying to do earlier, like pick up on a trail, like see if I can make out the natural path, maybe.
Okay.
Where it would logically lead to the center.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead. Oh, god damn it.
Why does this dice hate me?
I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna roll with it anymore.
I do think that we already consume the advantage from earlier, the second advantage that we had?
We haven't consumed that one yet.
Do you want to use that now?
Yeah, but I'm gonna use the dice on my phone. Okay, that's not even that
roll
better.
plenty,
I rolled a
guys.
6.
You rolled a 6. I'm sorry. That is not... You stray a little bit away from the party, and you can hear the sounds gaining on you guys, getting a little bit closer.
My bad, God. My bad.
No problems. I'm going to try to study the maze since I've run out of runes at this point, and I want to try to investigate my way through.
Awesome.
16.
Yes, sir. That is another success. So that is 4 successes and 2 failures. Go ahead and narrate your success for us.
I kind of try to extrapolate based on the patterns I've already picked up on, and then just kind of use that to make my own like mental map and just start weaving my way through the intersections of the maze based on my calculations.
Absolutely, yeah. So you start leading the way through, and you find yourself getting deeper and deeper into the maze, where the light from above is getting a bit harder to see through, while the overgrowth is taking over the skyline. All right, and then refresh, and hopefully this should be the last roll.
Alrighty then. So trusting in my companion to basically have a functional mental map, what matters now is making sure we don't make so much noise that those creatures start to pick up on where we're going. I'm gonna basically step a little bit forward and maneuver sticks and debris so that my companions make as little noise as possible, and I'm gonna stealth us forward.
Okay.
And oh shit. Yeah, I've got
Ooh, that is a 3rd failure. It seems like when you pull on the wood and start trying to take stones out from underneath, you can see the vines from the bushes start to like reach out, and a viney plant fibrous hand wraps itself around you and hisses out in carnivorous rage.
Some advantage on that roll with my Mask of the Wind.
What does that do?
Well, it allows me to hide even when only lightly obscured by foliage, heavy rain, snow, mist, etc. Like, I could grab him and, like, quickly pull him into the bushes, so that way, like, he makes less noise.
I'll allow that, yeah.
Alrighty then. Another roll, a 13.
Total 13?
Total 13.
That is enough to succeed. All right. Who wants to narrate the success on that one?
I'm kind of getting this. I made a naughty, and something responded, but that gives us an opportunity. We had a couple dart and dodges we needed to do, but when this bush comes about, it actually makes an opening. It kind of pumps up its chest, moves its body around, and there's a place we can saddle right on through.
All right.
Be where we need to be.
All right, yeah. So we see Baratheon pull you out, and there is a plant-like creature that comes with you. Behind him, we can see the very center of the maze and the sundial that was spoken of off on its side. Yeah. Let's go ahead and roll initiative and see if you guys beat the creatures that are coming in on you now. You will have 1 turn no matter what, because you got 5 successes before you got 4 failures.
All right.
But let's see if we...
8.
13.
Okay.
I got a good roll, 22 total.
All right, you go first.
You have a map or something you're gonna put up?
No, I don't actually for this. There is a small plant-like creature in front of you. It is trying. You just wrenched it free of your friend, and it is scrabbling up, trying to get at you guys. It is the only thing standing between you and the sundial on the opposite side of the hedge, and you know that next round the rest of the blights will be upon you.
I'm gonna whack it with my sword.
Give him the old whack.
That's gonna be 15 total.
I'm pretty sure that hits. I'm pulling up its stats right now. I'm pretty sure 15 hits. A 16? Yes, definitely.
That's gonna be 7 damage.
7 damage is almost enough to kill him. You cut off one of its arms and it writhes around in pain. That is going to be Cece next. Unless you move. Do you move first? I'm sorry, I should ask that. Do you move first?
I'll move towards the creatures that are coming at us so I can hear them. Right?
To intercept them?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, the music is a little loud. I'm gonna turn that down just a smidge. Oh, that's not the right one. My bad. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Cece, it is your turn.
I'm going to bust out of the starting box like an absolute fiend. I'm going to dash, and while dashing, I'm going to use feline agility. And so I move 120 feet.
God damn. Holy shit. You're like a cheetah.
Mm-hmm. I am not dealing with this sucker. I go for the sundial to depress the stone.
All right. You make it all the way over there, and yeah, I mean, that ends the encounter for sure. Did not anticipate that. Good job.
That's what the Tabaxi do. They run fast and they snicker.
And then they sit there and pant for the next round.
Oh, yep, yes, I there and pant.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah, absolutely. You circumvent that encounter with a very unique ability. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
The blights come rushing out just as you make it to the button and depress it, and instantly they just like stop and then just turn around and walk back off into the bushes and like just start chilling out here in their little grove. Like, okay.
Oh goodness, we have to walk back. I thought we were going to teleport.
How did you get over there? So I'm looking in the spot that you were, and I look over to the spot that you are. You move so fast.
Like this. And then I just do a little cat pose. Wow.
Hell yeah. Awesome. All right, guys. And, okay. Is there any more ceremony that we need to spend, or do we go ahead and head on over to the Merchants Guild and wrap this on up?
I believe we head on to the Merchants Guild.
As long as we sign the paper first.
Yep.
Meet
Yep.
up with her, get that signature.
She is awaiting you at the outside of the maze. She happily signs your paper and says, let me see your letter, Soren.
I present it to her.
She scribbles something down on the bottom in her fancy elven script and then signs it. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I need to clear my throat. And she folds it back up and reseals it for you and says, you'll now find that you are able to purchase and trade amongst all levels of our staff.
I thank you. mistress. I will certainly be learning a lot from my fellows.
Get out there and make us proud.
I intend to. And I bow and I try to keep my composure. I mean, like, not explode and...
The Gimli when he's gifted the hair moments.
Yeah.
All right. So I think in the next scene we can just go ahead and take you guys over to the Merchants Guild itself.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You are met by an entourage of like professional merchants, meaning like, you know, traders over multiple cities, and a couple of guards in their plate mail. They greet you at the door, and they immediately recognize you for who you are and ask if you are here for the guild's approval.
We are here for the guild. Oh, look at the fineries.
Yeah, the inside is indeed quite a spectacle to behold. The dome of the central building is completely translucent to let in the light of the day without trapping in too much heat. There are all manner of fine craftsmen here who have brought in shipments and deliveries to be traded amongst all parts of the world, and there is, of course, many people here who literally just work as traders for a living. They just take stuff from one part to the other, and that is where the Merchants Guild makes the majority of their money.
Mm-hmm. Well, quite a sight to behold. But what I really need to behold is your signature on this paper. What may we do?
He says, certainly, Mercedes Letafere will see you now. And he escorts you into the most opulent of interior rooms in the very center of the Merchants Guild itself. The floor is painted with this glorious map of Ismira, the continent itself. Boop.
Hey, it's a map.
It's another map. It's not really relevant. It's just that's what the floor looks like, and it gives me an opportunity in the stream to show off the map of the continent. You guys are here in Blackwood, and there is a little indicator on the floor to show that as well. In a throne across from you sits a very well-cultured and well-refined man. He's completely shaved all across his face. His scalp is totally bald, and from where you're standing, you don't have to be a tabaxi to smell the intense perfume that he's like absolutely saturated himself in. And he has all manner of rings and amulets on, and smiles as you enter and says, "Welcome, welcome to the Guild of Merchants."
My goodness. I lean in just a little bit to check and make sure that he has eyebrows.
No,
He does not have eyebrows.
he has no eyebrows.
Fantastic. Well then, thank you for receiving us in this opulence. There is a task that we, as itinerant heroes, must perform for you. What may it be?
He says, indeed, now is the time. I have for you 3 questions. You must answer them correct, and you will have my approval. I value intellect above all else, and if you can prove that you have the superior intellect, then you will have earned this guild's approval. Question 1. A nearby town overproduced potions of healing for the season. In order to quickly offload their supply, they have reduced their prices from 50 gold to 45. If it costs 300 gold to form a caravan there and back, how many potions of healing should the caravanners purchase to turn a profit on this venture back home? So the question essentially is, the potions normally cost 50 gold. They overproduced potions, so they only cost 45 for right now. If it costs 300 gold to form a caravan, then what's the bare minimum number of potions they need to buy just to turn a profit? If they sell them back at home for full price. Y'all can discuss amongst yourselves, obviously.
I, as buffoon, have no right to be answering a math question. And it's been a long time since I've done even the most basic algebra.
Be able to send us the question so I can see it.
Yes. You okay?
It's just the same cup from earlier. Banding chemo.
They would need at least 7 to start making a profit.
At least
If I'm doing my
7.
math right.
At least 7 is correct. It is a lot more than 7.
That's where I said if I did my math right, which
Yeah.
doesn't make sense for the why even do a caravan for that?
Yeah.
One piece of information missing from this question: how much are they selling them for?
50 gold. They'll be selling them for their full amount back home.
Gotcha. Well, coming from the mouth of someone who is smarter than our tabaxi friend, it'd be 61.
That is correct.
I was gonna say sure.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Wonderful," and claps his hands. Now, let's see if you can do conversions. If a great sword costs 50 gold, and you only own 45,000 copper, can you buy the great sword?
Now this is something he does know because it's money, and he says, no, we cannot. Copper is basically worthless.
Indeed. Even with 45,000 copper, you'd still need 5,000 more. Wonderful! But I've saved the true tricky question for last, and I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this one in here.
Alright.
You and your party stay in a distant town for a month. The total tab you run up is 155 gold pieces. Between you, you only have 17 platinum, and the tavern can only make change in electrum. How many coins, and in which denomination, will your party have remaining at the end of the transaction?
Platinum to gold is a factor of 10.
Yep.
And gold to
So
electrum is a electrum to gold is a factor of 2.
Of how many?
Electrum is
It's 5 to 1 gold.
5 to 1. Oh, I thought it was 2. Okay. In that case,
Am I mistaken? Am I mistaken? I could be mistaken. No, you're right. You're right. My friend in chat. Fairy. Yeah, she told me that earlier. No, you're right. It is 2. It is 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Thank you.
Alright, so if we convert platinum to gold, we'd have 15 gold left and change that we have to convert to electrum.
Mm-hmm. We would have had 5 gold pieces change if she had gold, but she only has electrum, so we have 10 electrum. We have 10 gold, 10 electrum.
Where did you get the gold?
Shit, you're right. 1 platinum, 10 electrum.
There you go. All right. You did it, guys. That was the easiest, well, maybe not easiest, but the quickest one for sure. That one was more of like, do you know the rules and also how to do basic math?
I realized that we were doing math, and so I got into math mode.
Great job. Yeah, he is very happy that you guys got it so quickly. He signs your contract with a big peacock feather quill and dips it into its gold embroidered receptacle and says, well done, well done. I am so pleased. Please, if there's anything we can do for you, let us know.
Well, do tell me who I need to talk to make acquaintances here. I do like going about.
Well, certainly. It simply requires me to know with whom do you wish to make the acquaintance of. I travel in all circles, you know. And then he, like, kind of gives you a side eye and says, all circles.
Oh, I see. Quite exciting. I believe just who I talked to earn a guild membership would suffice.
You wish to join our ranks, then?
It would suit me, I imagine.
I imagine it might limit your options in the future should you have such, what's the word, well-known loyalties. If it is work you seek, come to me once you have been named the itinerant party. Maybe we have something we can discuss.
He nods. Well spoken. All the more reason to trust that, yes, your kind may be the right choice. We will return when we are the itinerant party.
I bid you adieu until then, and please, hurry back. He smiles. And you are escorted out by plate mail clad Merchants Guild guards.
Right.
Alright, guys. Well, that is pretty much all I had ready for the session, unless you wanted to do a drinking contest.
I think I'm good. It is a little late.
Yeah, I figured I'd leave it up to y'all because it is getting a little late.
Well, it was pretty good fun.
Yeah.
Alright, let me go ahead and shut off the recording.